The way of chado is our family craft. My mother was a tea teacher. From my childhood, I had the opportunity to learn the art of tea culture. In modern Japan, the majority of people who take part in a tea ceremony are women, so I thought only women could participate in tea ceremonies. I enrolled in the Yuras Enke School of Tea Culture in Kyoto.
男の人もお茶をするんだっていうことを初めて知って、そこからお稽古を開始するようになりました。お稽古の中で
In addition to the tea ceremony itself, they study the history of tea culture. Thanks to this, I learned that in medieval Japan, this was purely a masculine art. These facts gave me greater interest in my studies of this art. The tea ceremony, as one of the greatest phenomena of Japanese culture, was formed in the times of turmoil and wars in the country. The tea ceremony created by the great masters, with its special aesthetics and philosophy, was intended to oppose violence to the adoration of beauty. Japanese tea culture is more than 500 years old. Initially, the Japanese enjoyed tea by using utensils imported from China. Although China and Japan are neighbors, our cultures are very different. For example, it concerns the very concept of the beauty of things. In China, only perfect utensils are considered beautiful. The same approach concerned the moon. It was considered to be the most beautiful when it was full. On the contrary, in ancient Japanese hymns, Uta, the moon was considered the most beautiful when it was slightly covered by a cloud. That is, the imperfect form of the moon in Japan was recognized as the most beautiful form. Gradually, these concepts were applied to items used in tea culture. In the art of the Japanese tea ceremony, the whole essence of the nation's culture is expressed: innate politeness and modesty, simplicity and the desire for beauty. Traditional tea utensils have an irregular shape. Therein lies in peculiarities and beauty. In the 16th century, the founder of the tea tradition of Japan, the master San no Rikyu, formed these norms of aesthetics, which are called wabi, which translates as unpretentious simplicity. And today, this notion of modest beauty is an important part of the aesthetic worldview of the Japanese people. Tea ceremony is a clear sequence of actions. Every movement is reconciled and every object is in its natural place. However, this external stiffness hides the main rules of the tea culture. It is the harmony of a person with the world and mutual respect of the purity of a human being's feelings and thoughts. In the tea culture, aesthetics holds an important place, but all the same, the main idea is mutual enjoyment of food and tea. At the very beginning of the tea ceremony, guests are offered some Japanese sweets, and then everyone drinks tea. There are two main types of tea: koicha, a thick honey-like drink, and uzucha, a lighter tea. All guests usually drink from one cup. In Ukraine, one can join the Japanese tea tradition at the Ukrainian Japanese Center. Ukrainian followers even arrange the tea parties under the branches of sakura, or cherry trees. That's why during the blossoming of cherry tree branches in April, they organize special tours to Ozhgorod, where there is a whole alley of Japanese cherry tree. During the tea ceremony, the host and his guests unite in thoughts and feelings and enjoy all beautiful things in life together. And this unity during tea drinking is the most important element of the entire ceremonial process. Modern Japan, having absorbed some elements of Western European culture, has not lost any of the fundamental particularities of its own ancient culture. According to the tea master, the younger generation of Japanese people manages to preserve its identity thanks to traditional Japanese art classes. Many modern Japanese people believe that, despite globalization and the Western influence, it is the tea ceremony that preserves the traditional etiquette of the country of the rising sun and the fundamentals of its world outlook. Chado is a long path that does not have a final destination. After all, over the course of human life, things are constantly changing. At the age of 30, a person does not look at life as they did when they were 20. The same thing goes for tea. It is an ever-changing and constant search in the established aesthetic framework. The unifying force of Japanese tea spreads even to other continents. After all, apart from active cooperation at the political level, Ukraine and Japan have launched mutual activation of contacts among the people of their countries. 2017 is a special year. It is the year of Japan in Ukraine, and the demonstration of tea ceremonies held by Ukrainian enthusiasts raised the general awareness of Ukrainians about Chado and bring our peoples closer together. The Urasenko Tea School is also joining this event and is happy to cooperate with Ukrainian students. When I went to Ukraine, I was curious to find out what the Ukrainians think about tea aesthetics and what things they find beautiful in it. I was pleased to learn that in Ukraine people study Japanese traditions very profoundly. Ukrainians are very attentive to the smallest details of holding the tea ceremony. In the end, this was a firm conviction that the views of Ukrainians and Japanese about what in life is beautiful are very similar. The tea master was impressed not only by the people in Ukraine, but also by his first acquaintance with the Ukrainian capital. Fortunately, I had the chance to walk around the city together with Ukrainian students. Kyiv seemed to me like a very big city. I liked the organization of space, the location of streets, as well as the very interesting architecture. For example, Independence Square and the main street, Kreshchatyk, made quite an impression on me. Also, Kyiv temples are absolutely magnificent and incredible, especially when you stand in front of them and can contemplate how the sun is reflected on their golden domes. In early autumn, the tea master intends to return to Kyiv to organize a big tea ceremony, especially for his Ukrainian colleagues. A group of volunteers from Kyoto decided together with the Ukrainian Tea Club to hold chakai, that is, a tea meeting during which everyone can enjoy Japanese sweets and tea, and most importantly, learn more about Japanese traditions. We are interested in deepening cooperation between our countries through promotion of the tea ceremony. However, such cultural events should be held constantly, so I hope every year to come to Ukraine and get to know your country better. I believe that we can unite our people and cultures with such a simple phrase as "help yourself to a tea, if you please."
言われている言葉があって、もともとは中国から来た言葉で、シャザ・喫茶という言葉があります。